Yes, you can see it.
Great. Thank you very much. So, as part of the data cleaning process, there are times that you'll find a data set that is lumped together. You have so many things together, and you will need to clean that kind of data so that you have it organized. And an example is what I have in the clean and text to column. So in this scenario, you have a manager who has given you a raw contact info that needs to be separated. So you have all information in a row. But in that information, you have a first name, you have the last name, you have the email address, and possibly the employee level. Now, how do you get this cleaned up? All right. And what we're looking at here is to use the text to column function. How do you get that done? So you have your data or your staffing data here already. And I have actually done the cleaning and I shared it earlier so that we'll be able to go through it together or it'll be easy. But before I proceed, has anyone tried this and not finding it easy? If you had a challenge doing this, please just let me know so that we can go through it together. If we don't have a challenge or we don't have a complaint, I will leave text to column and I'll move to train. Or I just talk through it once and then I move to train. So let me know if you have gone through this and then you are fine with the shirt. So if you have any challenge, please let me know. Should I take the silence as okay? Exam they come on.
Exam no be threat.
Hmm? It's
No
not a
be threat.
threat. I agree, it's not a threat, but it is to show whether or not we understand this. So if they have the chance to speak up and we don't do it, as Nigerians, how we set our exam, what we see in the class or what we treat in the class will be totally different from what you see in the examination. So that's what I'm saying, exam the common. Okay, I'll just run through it and then we move on. So this is the data set that we have, and all you need to do is go to data, and here you would find text to columns within the data tools. Select that. Sorry. So you select your text to column and you have your delimiter checked already. So once you do that, click on next, and you need to then find the the character that separates the information that you want to put in different columns. In this case, what you have is underscore. So what you need to do is to then put the underscore in the other function, because the other checkboxes that you have there are semicolon, comma, and space. But in our own data set, what we have is underscore as the separator. Once you do that in the other field, click next, and then you finish. That way, Excel will split your data set into columns for you, and then you'll be able to move on from there. Okay, so I move next to trim. So in this situation, there are times that you will find your data set maybe disorganized. You have,
Excuse me, Titi.
yes, Mama.
Please, I don't know if you don't adjust me, but your screen looks minimized.
Really?
Yeah. Can you change or is it from my end? I don't know. Your screen is just tiny in the middle. I can see your screen, but it's small.
Really?
Kemi, it's not from your hand. I think you're right. But what I had to do was to zoom. I had to zoom my own. So there's a way
Okay.
you can actually
So
zoom. So
if
you
can you see it this way?
yes,
I could see mine quite clearly.
yes,
Yes.
yes. It's better now.
Yes, it's clear, but as usual, your screen is like to cover the whole screen, but it's just small in the middle. So, if you go back if you don't zoom and go back to normal, the lettering are very tiny. Now it's tiny.
Yes, I had to zoom it, so I didn't do anything differently. I'm not sure I changed any setting. Okay, so maybe what I'll look at that later because I really can't I can't think.
Maybe I think you need to increase the text or the font sizes. But it's good for me here anyway.
Okay, let me see if I do this. Is it okay now?
Just a little
Titi,
bit more.
Let's just continue. You didn't take it like that.
So before we move on, how many people could download the updated sheets? I've been trying to download it. It's not even.
Yes, I opened it.
Okay. Let me keep trying. Thank you.
Okay, so I move to trim. So can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So I had to zoom it. I increase that percentage and see how far we can go with this. So you will see that the information that we have under product details are so disorganized. You can see different spaces and the rest. And when you have your data set like this, most times Excel will not read it well, right? So it is better for us to have it cleaned up before we are able to run any analysis with it. So in this case, we want to take out all the extra spaces that we have in each row. And how do you get that done? Is to use trim. I already have the answer or solution done so that it is easy for us to go through it before the class. So if you want to apply the trim function, all you need to do is start your function with equals to sign. Then you type your trim and then your tab button. Then all you need to do is to insert the cell that you want Excel to clean up for you. So for example, I want Excel to clean up this part for me. And then I close the parentheses and then hit the enter. So that way any extra space that I have in that cell will be thoroughly cleaned up. So if you have multiple cells or multiple rows with issues like this, if you use the trim function and then you drag down, even if you have 5,000 cells, Excel will help you clean it up within milliseconds, and then you know that you are done with that function. Next here is substitute. Can you see this? Let me enlarge it. This is substitute. And how do you use substitute? Maybe you have a particular data set that has 15,000 words or 15,000 rows, or name whatever number you want to attach to it. And then you need to change some information. So instead of going in cell by cell or going from row to row or column to column to get this done, in this case, what we have here is that you have been tasked to create a table for 2015 and 2016 cost data. And you have already created the same list for sales data in the previous 2 years. So how do you now alter the data sets to ensure that it reflects the year that you want to see going forward? So you have used that same data set in previous years. What function or what Excel function can you then use to make your work faster or to save you that time, instead, or rather than changing from cell to cell or row to row? In this case, we already have a solution. And what's the solution saying? If you look at this cell, cell hub here, is showing us what we can do to save us time. And the formula that we need to use in this case is the substitute formula. So what that will do for you is to, do what? Change what you previously had with the digit or the year or the values that you want to see going forward. So in my case, I said substitute A10. What do I have in A10? I have Q1 2013. I am now saying substitute whatever you see in my A10 cell. If you find anything 2013, change it to 2015. So when I use that, or when I changed the values there, it will roll out what I want to see. That is what the substitute function does. I am running this quickly because we have shared this data set already, and I'm believing that we have gone through it. We are only talking about it now so that if anyone experienced any challenge, we can go through it together. Okay, so do we have any question on that substitute? If there is none, I will move on to remove duplicate. For remove duplicate, times that your data set may have multiple information or values or text, and then for you to be able to have a clean or an accurate data set, it is important that you take out some duplicates. But what I would like to say here is that there are times that the duplicates in your row or in a particular column may have some values that may be totally different from each other. So I give you an example. I have TT in 4 rows, and then I have another column that has region. So that means it's possible that I have duplicates of TT in a particular column, but they are in different regions. So it is important for you also to understand your data set. So do not assume that because you have TT in multiple places, then you have to remove your duplicates. So if other columns have different values, please, you have to know that not all duplicates means will really mean taking them out. It may mean that, okay, we have 4 TTs in 4 regions. So in that case, you do not need to use the duplicate function. So here, for example, if you want to perform the remove duplicate function, all you just need to do is to select all the cells that you are looking at. Or for instance, if our focus is on the distributor name, select all the cells that you want to work on, and then come to the data tool. This is where you have the data tools. Come to this area and then select remove duplicates. Once you select that, you already have the option for you to expand the selection or continue with the current selection. So I already have my selection already, and I'm saying, okay, Excel, please restrict yourself to this particular selection that I have. And if I click remove duplicates, it will ask me, okay, do I still want to go with distributor ID or name or country? Okay, I will say, please just restrict yourself to a particular column, or I want you to do the 3 still. If I select OK, Excel identified 7 duplicates, and it has used the Balablu or Tinubu's sweeper to take them off. So you will see that that list that I had before has reduced. And that's because Excel found some duplicates and actioned the necessary magic on it. So that is how to perform your remove duplicate function. So I will take this back to what we had before. Do we have any question, or I move on to values? Any question?
I really didn't see where you click for the pop-up to come out for the remove duplicates. I was trying to zoom and zoom, so I don't know.
You didn't see what, ma'am?
The what you clicked on for the pop-up of the remove duplicates to come out.
So
Which
what you
op-
need to do is go to the data tools. Can you see the data? Can you see my cursor here?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you see this one that has the X button on it. Can you
Yes.
see it's showing you
Yes.
remove duplicates? That's what you click on. But before you can action that, you need to be able to select the cell that you want to work on. Once you do that and you do this, can you see that there is a response from Excel?
Yes, I
Yes.
saw the remaining part of it. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I move next to values.
Sorry, sis. Kemi asked a question in the message session. She said,
I'm unable
"Is
to see
the substitute okay?" She's so let me read. She said, "Is the substitute different from? Is substitutes different from find and replace?"
it's similar, right? But find and replace will not. So the difference here is you will see that here the action that we need to do is to change quarter 1 to quarter 1 2013 to quarter 1 2015, right? It is the same thing. It is similar. But if I ask you in an exam to say, rather than using find and replace, find and replace, what other option do you have? That's number 1. Number 2 is if you use find and replace and you do control find, So that means you have to say, you have to find quarter one, right? 2013. Remember also that if you have too much space, or if you have, just like what we use trim to clean up, if you have that kind of problem in your sales data, find and replace may not be able to fix this problem for you. So you can use find and replace, right? That is when you can use it when your data is well cleaned. It is easy and it moves, it's just straightforward. But what if you have spaces in your data set? How do you move forward? You will use find and replace, right? And it may not give you the same, it may change some and it may not change some, because what you are telling find and replace here is quarter with one space and quarter with a space, and you have your one comma. What if some functions have just quarter one 2013?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
is someone trying to say something?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Kemi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the substitute, yes, is clear. I just wanted to take you back to the remove duplicates. I quite understand it, but now, like the example you mentioned about having similar or similar duplicate, like the example of having TT in France, there's another one in Malawi, there's another one in Tunisia. What do we do to make sure that Excel does not remove useful duplicates?
So that's why I said you need to understand what goal you want to achieve with your data set. So if I look at my data set, if I look at the header and I see multiple, okay, don't let me even use TT. Let me use a product, right? I have Nike. Nike is a brand, right? But Nike will have, you may have size, you may have small, you may have medium, you may have large, you may have extra large, and so on and so forth. But you will agree with me that the moment you remove duplicates from the brand, from the column that has the brand header, the size parts, there's nothing you will be able to do with the data set again, because it is only Nike, right? And we have different sizes. So in that instance, do I need to use the duplicate function? I would say no. Do you always need to use the duplicate function? I would say no. I will only use a duplicate function, right, when I see that maybe there are multiple entries of the same information. So I see TT, I see age, 3 years. I see city, Lagos. I see gender, female. And I see that same information, right, in 5 places or in 20 places, then I know there is a problem in my data set. But when I see TT, 3 years, Lagos, female, and I see TT, 7 years, Ibadan, transgender, or let's say whatever gender you want to give to it, then I know that, okay, I have different TTs with different characteristics. So you need to be able to understand your data set. You need to be able to see from the header, okay, what do I have here? That I have TT in multiple places does not mean that other categories are the same. So if I filter TT, for example, if I use the filter function and I say, okay, let me even have a glance of, okay, I keep seeing TT all around. Let me quickly use the filter function to even have an overview of what is happening around this name TT. So in that case, so by using filter, because for our newbies or our new joiners, if you want to use a filter now, the faster way to do that is to do your Control Shift L. Then you will see this button, drop down button here. So if I pick a name now, maybe this Iroko now, and I click OK, so I have two, right? Kemi, are you following me? Now I see distributor. Is it the same thing?
Yes, yes.
I
both
see
in
distributor,
Burundi,
exactly, and I see current country Burundi. Now
and they
I know
have the
that
same
okay,
distributor ID.
exactly, they
Okay.
have the same features. Then I can say, oh, this is a duplicate, and I need to remove it so that it does not alter the outcome or the output of my analysis. So I need to take it out.
Yeah.
But let's see if we have something different. Like Devin, now you can see that it's just one. So if I
it's
have,
useful to filter first.
so yes, we might, if I observe that there are multiple entries, so what do I need to do? I just filter and have a glance of, okay, are there possibilities of having multiple data set or multiple information so that I can use the remove duplicate function, you understand, to eliminate data or information that may be misleading at the end of the day. Is that okay now?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
Good. All right. So I move on to value. Okay. So there are times that we may have a data set, and if we have our numericals, by that I say 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest, if we have it in the text function, we may not get the desired output when we run formulas until we convert that text function to numbers. So I give you an example. You can have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, 0, something, something. But what you are seeing is 1,200, but Excel is reading it as a text. So if Excel is reading it as a text, then if you want to perform a function like, okay, this 1,200 something multiplied by 4, you will not see it. You will just see Excel return it as values, and it won't bring up or it won't return the correct output for you. So in that instance, when you see that, okay, you are trying to clean a data set or you are trying to work on a data set, you know that what you see is numbers, but Excel is telling you that there's something wrong with this. It's just bringing values for you. What you should remember is, okay, how can I walk through this? Do I need to change it to text? Do I need to change it from text to values so that Excel will be able to read it and will be able to say, you see what you have here, it is numbers. Motalani, you will agree with me that even in Power BI, if you are working on a particular column and it is in the, what do I say now? What you can see is maybe date. You can see one, something like this. Sorry, let me do that. I'm trying to call my Oga 2003. What you have here, if you look at this area here where I have my cursor, you can see that it is showing it as what? Date. Can you see it here?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
please.
There are times that maybe you imported, or yes, you imported the data set from somewhere. It can be in CSV, it can be anywhere. You may get your data from anywhere. Instead of showing you dates, it may just be showing you numbers only. And in that case, if you now want Excel to calculate the age of that particular cell for you, like, okay, what is age to date of this information that I have here? It may throw up value for you. So one thing that you should always remember is to convert that. If it's showing you values and instead of showing you date, it's showing you values, what you need to then do is to convert it from text to values. So how to do that is just, I have given you an example here, is just to do equals to that value, go to the cell, right? Change that text to values for me. Or you use this number field to change it to maybe numbers, or you change it to date if that is what you want to read. You want to change it to longer date, like this is an example now. I just changed it to dates. You can see now the long dates. Now Excel can read it as date for me. But if you don't change this thing from your text format, there is no English that you speak to Excel. It will continue to read it as a text and not a value. So you need to always put that at the back of your mind. If you go through your data set and you have something that has to do with numbers, by numbers, I mean, maybe you have your date, you have your prices, you have units, all of those things. Please, you need to be able to check to see that they are not in text format. And if they are in text format, remember to convert them to values or to date or to whatever it is that you need to work with. Do you have any question? So I move on. Here I have, okay, date format. So I will just write on what I just discussed now. Now, there are times that your Oga may tell you to change the dates or the format of your dates. So how do you do that? You have several ways to do that. It's either you use the format, what's that thing called? Let me right click. Yes, format cell. So if you want to change it to say, okay, I want it to start with month or with date or with year, depending on what you want. So one style is for you to select all the data sets or the rows that you want to work with. Once you are done with the selection, right click and then find the format cell. Format cell will take you to a new page and then you can click on your date and then change it to whatever you want it to be. Whether you want it to be Wednesday, March 14, 2012, or you just want it to be the shorter version of the month and the day, or you want March 14, 2012, whatever, or you want it to even come with the time, you can use this format. Another way to do this kind of cleanup is to also select, come here, and then change it to short date or long date. The third magic that Excel can do for you is to use the data text to column. You can use the text to column here, come to this angle, and then you click your next. Once you click your next, then you click your next again, and then you will find the column data format. Under the column data format, you have the general, you have the text, you have the date options for you. So what you can do is to click on the date and then select the menus that you have there. You have day, month, year, you have year, month, day, you have month, year, day, you have day, year, month, and depending on what you want, select it and then finish. So those are different ways to convert your text to values or convert your dates. So you can always come here to do all of those magic. So do you have any question? Any question?
Titi.
Yes, Mama.
So in using that text to column function,
Yes,
do
ma'am.
you need to select first? Because I just tried that first text to column you did before you started using this dates one. You know, you had explained text to column after you did clean and then text to column. Yes. So did you have to select the what was it called now, the data that you wanted to use? How did you
Yes, you have to select it. So once you select it, you then go to text the column.
It wasn't giving me, it wasn't bringing this up. It was giving me like there's a problem. I don't know. I tried it, and I'm a bit surprised about what I was getting. The one that has Eric Johnson, the one that has those underscore there. So what I did was to
This
select
one?
it. Let me see. Just a minute, please.
Is it this one?
Yes, this one. Yeah, this is the first one. Yes. Yes.
So
you know,
you
it
tried
had,
this and it wasn't working for you.
it wasn't. That's
Okay,
no, that's the
so
one. The
did
one
you select 2 columns or just 1 column?
I selected everything. I selected everything. I
Mm-mm.
shouldn't have.
Hold on. This information is just in 1 column. If you are looking at it, it looks like it's scaled into the second column, but
Oh,
just 1.
okay.
So please try it now. Select that column from Eric down to Queen.
Eric down to Queen. Okay, just a minute.
Then click on your text to column under data tools.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Okay, good. Yes, it did. Thank you. Great.
Okay.
Because I wasn't achieving it, and I got a bit worried. Thank you. Thank you, Titi.
Okay, good. So I move next to extraction. So in extraction, we have what we call the left, the right, and the mid. So that means you can have multiple, so I give you an example. There are times that you would have ID card. ID card may have alphanumericals on it. So you have EMP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, your guy now wants to test your Excel skills and see how you can extract information. And your organ now said, okay, Titi, come here. Today, I want you to extract just the numbers. I don't want to see EMP. We already know that EMP means employee. I just want to see the employee IDs. So how do we do that? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So what you need to do as the data guru in the room is to look at it to say, okay, if I look at my EMP, if I look at my employee ID, where exactly do I have the digits, I mean the numbers here? Is it to the right hand side or to the left hand side? That's number one. Number two is what cell has all of this information that I want to pull. Number three is how many digits is even this employee numbers that I want to pull out. So once you're able to identify these three things, what you then need to do is to use a write function. We all know that in Excel, if you want to perform anything, you start with equals to sign. So once you do your equals to sign, follow it with the write function, open your parentheses, and then go to the cell that you want Excel to work on for you. In my own case, with the data set that I have, I am working with cell A12. So I'm saying that Excel, please, I want you to extract the numbers that I have on the right side of that information. So, and that information towards the right hand side, I have numbers, but how many digits should you count for me? Or sorry, how many digits should I count for you? Now I am the Excel person responding to Titi to say, okay, you want me to pull information from the right hand side. You want me to pull the values. How many digits do you want me to pull? Now Titi is telling Excel, please, because if you want to go into this line, just do 5 digits for me. If you tell Excel, do 6 digits for me, Excel will include any other thing that will make that information complete for you. In this case, if I say 6, it will now become hyphen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make it 6. So I'm saying from the right hand side, right, pick 5 digits for me. So if you look at what I have here, for instance, if I do equals to and I do write function and I press my tab, the next thing is I go to the cell to say, go to this cell for me, right? And then pick my number, my characters. In this case, how many do I want it to pick? 5 for me. And I say enter. So that's how I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any question? If I say pick 6 for me, can you see it now? It will pick the next digit. Same thing is what you will use for, okay. Someone wants to say something.
Sorry, please, can you just repeat that first step again? Can you just repeat that solution, how you go about it again? To click well. Is it like magic? I don't understand.
It's Excel that is doing magic, it's not me. Oh. So are we still on extraction?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so for extraction now, I give you another. Let me start with an example again. So I say, you see, in this information that I have provided you with employee IDs, which has numericals. But my Oga, that is very, my Oga is sometimes once that switch goes off, just wants to test your skills. My Oga now said, please, I just need you to extract the numbers for me. I don't want EMP because EMP is just, we already know that EMP means employees, but I just want to see the numbers only because the data set that I want to work with, I want to restrict myself with numbers only. And we have maybe 5,000 rows. So your guy said, I don't know how you want to do it too. Just extract the unique numbers for each person. Extract it for me. So what can you do to clean that kind of data? you can use the right function, you can use the mid function, and you can use the left function. So depending on what your data set looks like will guide on the particular function that you should use. Now that your guy said, okay, I just want numbers, you will go to your data set and look at it to say, okay, from my employee ID, where do I have the numbers? You will agree with me that the numbers that you have here, please note my cell, this highlighted cell now. You will see that the numbers all fall to the right-hand side, right? So when I see that my numbers fall to the right-hand side, what I need to use is the right function. The right function. How do I do that? I will tell Excel to use right function and focus on the A2 cell. I don't know where the cell is on your own part, but if you look at your data set, the cell that has EMP-12345 is sitting in cell A12 for me. I don't know where it is sitting for you. So what I want to do is it the same for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, if it is the same for you, so now let me do this and make it as big as my own head here, okay? So my head is very big and I am going to increase it to 26 so that you can see how big my head is. So you start it with equals to sign, and then you say, oh, there is something called the right function. You type in right, click on your tab button. Once you click on your tab button, it opens up a parenthesis. Excel has a way of giving you expo all the time. So if you look at the bottom part here, it's already giving you insights to say, okay, in this place, okay, what text do you want me to have here, right? Which cell do you want me to work with? I'm now saying, Rico, Dalu, go to cell A12, right? That is the cell that I want you to work with. Excel now says, if you click on A12, the next thing that you should be doing is to click the comma sign. Once you do that, the next thing to do is, how many characters do you want me to pull for you? Characters. I'm now saying, okay, my Oga said I should just pull numbers. How many numbers do we even have for each employee ID self? Okay, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 digits, Abby. I put 5. Right? And then you close the parentheses and hit what? Enter. You see it? So if you drag this down, you will have all the digits. So now imagine you have 15,000 rows and you've been asked to pull this information. Will you be typing it one after the other? When will you leave that place? Do you now, is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear. But is it possible to have varying number of characters or of the values?
How do you mean, ma'am?
Like the way you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5. Is it possible that maybe the
Want to have 7
pioneer staff have maybe 3 value, maybe only 3 numbers or 4 numbers? Is it possible to
in
have
in that case, I would advise that you standardize your number.
Numbers? Okay.
Do you understand? Because what we are seeing, what we are telling Excel here is the characters are 5. So why will you even have employee number that one is this and one is that? So what I would say in that instance is to standardize, is to say, even if you have 1, 2, 3, it can be 0001, 00002. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to prompt Excel to standardize, or once I just put 5, Excel will automatically standardize the number?
No, it depends. Excel is working on what you have in cell A2. So that means you have to standardize your number first. You understand? So let's look at something. let me do another. Let me tell Excel to give us another magic to standardize it. Now we have created, or before this, okay, let's assume this is our digits now, right? We have 5 and no, let's do it like this.
Sorry, quick one. Before you go on,
Yes, ma'am.
I missed the doing it for everything automatically.
How do you mean? I don't understand, ma'am.
Okay, so when you did cell A2 and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
did you hit to get every other one automatically without
I
having to
dragged
do
it. I dragged
You
it.
just dragged it. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Thank you.
So let's assume that we have these numbers, right? And maybe this one has 0. This one has 0, 0, right?
Yes.
They are not the same, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
And we're trying to standardize, and we want to make everything 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want to make everything 8. So what you need to do is to highlight all the cells, right click it, right, go to format cells and go to number. Go to customs. So in your custom, you are now saying done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I now need you to change whatever it is. I want to see 8 digits to standardize it, and each enter. What is this? 8, yeah. So you will see. Let me just type another number. I think there are some that. Let me do. Because I copied this. So I have these 3 digits here, and let me increase this to 26. So I'm now saying we want to standardize this and then make it 8 digits, right? So you select all the cells that you want to focus on, right click on it, then you go to your format cell and go to custom. So under type here, you'll see what we have, where we have general. Highlight the general and type 8 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you click OK, you will see that you all have the digits in equal, totaling 8. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that gives you an idea on how to at least fix that part before you now proceed to using the right function. Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So I move on. So the same way. Okay, someone wants to say something.
Yes, please. Before we move on, I just wanted to find out this way we standardize the numbers. Can we do it while it's still alphanumeric, or we have to? It has to be purely numeric before we can standardize.
Well, I think it has to be numericals. Let's even try it now. I've actually not tried that before, but it will be good for us to even try it now and see if, but I doubt it. Let's see if this will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You see, it didn't work. It didn't work for
Okay.
it.
Okay. So we do the right function first.
Yes, you do
or
the right
text to
function, and then you standardize whatever it is that you, or you just pull out your numericals first, and then be able
okay.
to change it to whatever numbers or digits that you want to see.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Mama.
I think someone else has a hand up. Nafisat.
Ah, my dear Nafisat. Salam alaikum.
Good morning, ma. What I want
Good
to ask
morning,
is,
ma'am.
this standardization, is it not going to change the data set like that?
I'm not saying it's by force to say do the standardization. It was someone that asked me a question, to say if we have scattered employee number. Someone has 001, someone have 012, someone have 3 or 30. You understand? In that situation, how do we now use the right function to be able to have the same digits? So I'm saying, how can you two have scattered employee ID now? Okay, in that case, standardize it to say, I want it to everybody to be 8 digits, so that if you want to use your right function, you understand, or after you use your right function, you can then pull everybody together. So someone who is number 1 will now be 000001 or 10000, depending on what you want to have. So standardization is not part of this. I am just telling you how to extract information that out of the data set. Do you understand?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So the same way you use right, you can also use
Sorry.
mid. Yes, ma'am.
Mussolini is saying that so she said, so I was thinking we use text to column to bring out the numbers, then we standardize. Does that work?
I don't understand. Use text to column to extract.
To bring,
No, what we are doing here
Hello,
is
Sid,
yes, mama.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking, assuming what Kemi Dick said, peradventure in the alphanumeric column, the numbers there themselves are not, they don't rhyme. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have the next column can be EMP hyphen 0098877 like that. So, we cannot standardize in that particular column. So I was thinking for us to be able to standardize, right, we can use text to column to bring out those numbers themselves out of that particular column, then we standardize. That's what I was thinking.
Of course, you can use text to column to split your information. The only thing you need to do is to then determine what your separator would be. But I am trying to talk, or I would say that because we are working on extraction, we are trying to see things from the extraction angle. And instead of going through this process, I can also say, okay, let us use text to column now. I separate whatever it is that we want to do. We already have a separator. But if you're gonna now say, okay, use the extraction or pull the mid only for me, or pull the left, the information to your left hand side for me. What if I don't even know how to use text to column? What if you are even restricted to extraction? What are you going to do? Okay, what if you tried your text to column function and you forgot a line? What are you going to do? I agree with you, we can use text to column, but what's our alternative?
or more like, what's a better alternative?
Do you understand? So what I'm trying to do here is, as much as possible, you are well equipped. Okay, the day you are even stuck, text to column is not, brain is weak. You cannot even think right again. What of the other option can you quickly think of? Okay, now I give you a very similar example. Someone said, okay, I have used 5 digits. How do I, what if you now have some people, they are 5 digits, some other people, they are 3 digits, they are this. What did I do immediately? I was able to say, okay, when you select this, you right click, you go to custom. That is because you have alternative to all of these things. You're not restricted.
Sorry, TTT, I wanted to ask. I'm a bit confused. In this instance, I would have thought that your employee ID are all in columns. So why would you use the option of text to column? Because I would have assumed that they're not text. They're already in columns.
You can use text to column for so many things. You can use it to split your data. So I take us back to remove duplicates. Now, oh, sorry. Where is that? Yes, this one. Here. This is similar to what Motalani is talking about, right? But if I want to split this in different columns, can I do it with text to column? Yes, I can. So if I have Eric underscore Johnson underscore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Or underscore 1, 2, 3. Do you understand? Yes, I can do that.
Yes, but I'm referring to the employee. I'm referring to the page we're on. Because she mentioned, for instance, here we have the employee ID and we're trying to extract the numbers from the text.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, and then she mentioned that we could use text to column,
yes,
to remove the employee, to separate it from the ID.
Yes.
So are you saying that we can equally use that,
Yes.
the text to column,
Yes. Yes.
for already identified columns? Because I will assume that this employee ID, we have them as columns already.
You mean this one?
Absolutely.
No, what we are still talking about is this. Motalani, you are saying we can use text to column to separate the employee ID, this column that I have selected. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, what I was saying was based on the question Akemisola asked, where she said, assuming those numbers don't rhyme. So if you use you're right now, you want to extract 5 digits from the employee ID column now. You want to extract the last 5, that means the numbers itself. But assuming those numbers do not rhyme, whereby we have a row whereby the number there is 4 digits. We have another row whereby the number there is 3 digits. If we use that right, telling it that you want to extract 5, for the first row that has 5 digits, you see 5 numbers. But for the second row that has 4 digits, it will extract it with a hyphen.
Yes.
For the third row that has 3 digits, it will extract it with the hyphen and letter P.
Correct.
So what I was saying was that we won't have a standardized column in that manner. So what I was saying before we can have a standardized column, why don't we use text to column, create those numbers, irrespective of the numbers? Like we use the hyphen now as our delimiter. We separate those numbers out. The one that is 3, the one that is 4, the one that is 5. Then we standardize whatever we want to do. That's what I was saying. In case we have a column whereby we have 3 numbers, we have 4 numbers, we have 2, we have 6, we have 8, and like that. So that's what I was saying. We can use the text to column to remove those numbers first, then we standardize. Because if we should use, if we have a rule whereby we have 6 columns or 7 columns, and we are using right, and we say we just want 5. Assuming we have a column whereby we have 1,000 rows, we don't know if the row 998 has eight numbers, and we just look at the first one, assuming everything should have 5 numbers, and we use right. So we have a case whereby some columns we have 5 numbers complete, some we have their numbers not complete, some we have the delimiters included. That's what I was saying. That can we first use text to column? Let's say, okay, let's remove the numbers entirely. Whether it is 3, whether it is 4, whether it is 5, then we just standardize just in case. That's what I was assuming we use text to column for.
Okay. Is it okay now, ma'am? Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes. Hello, Titi.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like you're not checking our raised hand. We are raising our hand.
I can't, I'm sorry, I can't see. I'm sharing my entire screen, so I can't see it. I can't see
Okay, no problem.
And another thing is, we may not be able to move on from extraction today because I had said it's 1 hour, and some people already told me that they are some other things to do. And the internet, we are connected, so I don't want it to yank everybody else. So I'm open to answering questions, but that means we won't be able to do all other things like case, format, flash fill, and some other things that I thought we would be able to complete today. It's okay. Questions?
Excuse me.
Yes,
Mine
please, ma'am.
is like a comment, just to buttress Motolani's point and to like make clarification for Royal Duel. That's the name that is showing. Excuse me. So
Royal
like
Duel.
text to
Where?
column. Yes, the person that asked that why are we
Loyal
using text?
Oh, okay.
Royal
Loyal
Duel.
Doyle.
Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. So the text to column is not used to move things that are not in column into column, but it's used to split things that are in column into different columns. I think if we have that in mind, we will be able to better understand. Because you were saying that employee ID is already in columns. Why are we using text to column? Text to column is actually used for things that are already in columns, but we want to separate the thing that is inside the
characters.
The characters, thank you, in that column into different columns, maybe 2, 3, or 4 columns as the case may be. So if we work with that understanding, I think it will make us understand better the concept of text to column. Thank you.
Clara. Thank you, Kemi.
So in addition to what Kemi said, before you can separate it, there has to be something unique that is separating those things. So you cannot have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H in text to column, and then you say separate for me. It won't answer you. There has to be something that is separating them, whether a space, a comma, a slash, an hyphen, something must be there. So
Noted.
You said what?
Thank you. I said noted. Thank you.
Okay, good.
So that means, Titi, that means if we have an information like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a column, we cannot use text to column to do anything with it.
It won't work now. What do you want to separate it with? Okay, let us go back to text to column, okay? Text to column will ask you, what is the delimiter, right? Next, is asking you, what's the delimiter here? Is it semicolon? Is it comma? Is it space? What is that thing that is separating the information that you have in that cell? Do you understand now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you must have something that is separating them. So if I go back to this text column here, you will see that you have underscore, right? So I'm now saying that anywhere you see underscore, right, it means the next value or name or whatever word you see should be in a new column. So the separator there is underscore. That's why you see Eric in one cell, in one column, Johnson in one column. You have the email address in another column. You have manager in another column. So anywhere you find underscore, it means just keep that next thing to the, or push that next information or data into another column. That's what it's saying. You must have a separator all the time. Okay. This is 1:16 already. We had said it's going to be 1 hour today, and I will stop sharing my screen. Can
Sorry,
you?
the recording of the class so that we can just go through it one more time if need be.
I'm sure that we would have that in our Google Drive, so that, and then we would have the link to see that later on. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. If you have questions, please feel free to drop it on the group chat, and then we will attend to it. But another thing is for us to please go through the remaining sheets, because I will be adding more. Not materials, Excel documents that we need to work on. My thought was that we will be able to finish up today so that we can move to logical functions. By logical functions, I think we will start to do or revise on the ifs, the nested ifs, the sum ifs, XLOOKUP, and the rest, so that we can then work on our first project for the upcoming week. But as it is, I don't know, we'll come up with something, but God help us. If we're able to finish everything next week, it will help us. And if we're able to spend extended time next week, I'll be glad. But if you don't have any other question, it'll be au revoir from here. But I'll be here if you have any other question. Thank you. Our attendance, so please, we can stop recording, please. Okay, ma'am, we can stop recording so that Motolani, you have a question?
Good morning. Thank you very much.
No, I don't have.
Please, I want to ask, why is everybody seeing the clapping of hands and the thumbs up? I don't know.
Okay, you will see an area where you have send the reaction. So you have a smiley face looking at you.